Welcome.
Welcome.
Good to see you.
God, I'm so out of breath. I ran upstairs once.
Running around today. What did you get at Chick-fil-A? Oh.
No chicken, extra egg. I do 3 times the egg. I get 3 eggs on that boy.
It's nasty.
And then I'll do a little fat-free honey mustard.
Ooh.
And
Extra?
Chipotle lime ranch.
Mix them?
Mix them. Wow. Mix them on that boy. No bacon.
So Chick-fil-A hack.
Chick-fil-A hack.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I brought Brad some lunch.
That's nice.
Yeah, I sat in the office for a little bit.
How nice.
It was nice. It was very wholesome.
I edited the pod. I watched Traitors.
Traitors.
And
Should we do a Traitors episode?
Oh, God. Everyone's doing Traitors episodes these days. It's appointment television. It's good. It's real good. And I watched this episode, which frankly could have been better.
You know what? After episode 1, the new season, I was a little disappointed, but
Tough to top.
Welcome to Sex Sisters in the City. Grab your Manolos and martinis from the dirty South to NYC. Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, Samantha, we feel like we know you. Big and Stanford and all the other sub-characters, we'll talk about them sometimes too.
let's begin.
Let's get into it.
Susan Sharon. I love when they do a double name.
Susan Sharon. I just always think about how she's just reading all of these people to filth every single week on her thing, like with their full name. My friend Susan Sharon is married to a mean man.
He's terrible. And she's just dealing with it.
He's terrible. We come to find out she's a little bit terrible, but he's just awful.
Yeah. There's no getting around that.
There's no getting around it. He makes my skin crawl every time he's on the screen.
Yeah, but I mean, does she kind of maybe deserve it a little bit? I don't know.
Whoa.
That's up for the viewers to decide.
She had 2 separate men tell her to shut the fuck up.
She's putting the CDs back in the wrong CD holder.
Oh, been there. You want to know what I got in trouble for today? Greg texts me and he goes, I hope you didn't throw away the box that my new Apple, new laptop came in. He got a new laptop for work last week.
You threw it away.
Last Monday, he got it. It came in like a cardboard box, and then in that box was the box that the laptop was in.
Yeah.
And the cardboard box that it came in sat on the kitchen counter for 5 days. And then we had someone staying at our house watching Todd this weekend. So naturally, as I was getting the house ready for someone to stay in it, I did throw away that said cardboard box. And I replied to him today.
Big mistake.
I replied to him today. I was like, no.
Huge.
I was like, the MacBook box is on your desk. Because I took that box. I was like, some people don't throw away the laptop box. I don't know. He might need to bring it to work or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I'm talking about the cardboard box that it came in. I need that to send back the old laptop. It's like, well, you didn't tell me.
It's not part of the aesthetic of the home. This is what they don't realize.
I don't
There's
want
an
that.
Aesthetic.
I don't want that on the counter.
Then put the box somewhere.
Put the box somewhere.
Obviously, you're going to see an empty cardboard box and throw it away.
Naturally. So then I got mad at him. I said, how dare you? How dare you?
First of all, how dare you?
He said, now I'm going to get in trouble at work. And I said, maybe you should have thought about that before you just didn't mention that to me.
Yeah, and just leaving your shit
It
around.
must be hard to have a wife that cleans.
Divorce him.
Divorce. Yeah, now he's in trouble. I'm the hot husband. Yeah, so she didn't put the CDs back correctly. Some would say she had it coming, I suppose. So then Carrie hangs out with her friend for the first time. She kind of starts seeing less of her friend. They have a fun night. They go back home. And then Sharon, what is it? Sharon Susan Susan and her husband just start fighting, going at it. This guy's awful. And Carrie's real uncomfortable. She's just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go.
Yeah, I mean, how else would you be?
Have you been in this situation?
Yeah, I think everybody. Yeah,
Everyone has.
Yeah,
Like when another couple is fighting and you just feel super awkward. You're just like,
I love it. I love the drama.
Do you?
Fight, just go at it.
So you like when this happens? You enjoy watching other people
sit
fight.
there and eat some popcorn and really just watch it unfold. I'm like, hit her.
Whoa. I think like most people hate it
No, yeah,
when
it's
this
terrible.
happens. And we all have, at least I do. I have a couple that I hang out with very frequently. This happens, I'm saying almost every time we hang out with them. They're fighting like very aggressively to like to a high decibel, to an awkward thing where they try to bring one of us into it. Like,
Oh,
you
God,
see what they do?
That's when it crosses the line. It's like when you try to bring in your friend, obviously like, you got to be on your friend's side. Like, you know, like you got to be like, yeah, but like you can't say too much because then you'll just add
fuel to the fire.
Thank you. Add fuel to the fire.
Fire the
And
fuel.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I actually found this trope was the only thing about this episode that was like really, really holding for me because I was just like was thinking about I've been in Carrie's position many times with this one couple pair of friends where like we'll go into the other room and then the girl is just like telling me how awful he is, how abusive he is, how like tyrannical he is. And I'm just like, have you thought about leaving or therapy or like solutions? Because it's been years that I've been hearing about it and it doesn't seem like things are getting better.
But then we get to what Samantha says when they're all at lunch and she's like, there's nothing you can do. Because once you tell the friend to leave them and they ended up regretting it, then you're to blame.
Yeah.
Or you just make it worse. Or if you don't say anything, then you're looked at, oh, am I a bad friend because I didn't say anything? Yeah,
it's a lose-lose situation and they're totally right. I have definitely I've done everything. I've stood aside and then I just have to deal with it as it keeps coming back up. I've been the person that says like, this is ridiculous. Like you need to do something about it. And then they don't do anything about it. Like telling someone to go to therapy, I think is like the only way to win this conversation, honestly, because it's just saying like, yeah, this doesn't seem healthy. Like they can't lose by going to therapy. Like,
yeah.
But no one really takes that advice.
No one takes
honestly.
that advice. Yeah.
So Greg actually had a situation in college where he really didn't like someone's girlfriend and he told them and it ended their friendship. Like
what was the reasoning?
He thought that she was like really mean to him. Like no one really liked her. He said she was just like kind of, you know, for whatever reason, he really didn't like her and thought that she was
just like a mean person.
Like a mean person. Like, and like not nice to him and like not bringing out the best in him. They were fighting all the time and like he didn't really whatever. And it ended their friendship because he was like, no, I'm staying with her and I want to be with her.
Yeah. And that's hard. I mean, I think that when it comes down to like abuse, like abuse, like you're seeing it and it's over and over again, I feel like that's a point where you should say something. If, you know, couples fight and some couples fight more than others. And if it's just, you know, tiffs or whatever, it's like, stay out of it. It's not your business.
No.
Just maybe don't hang out with them as much.
Yeah. And that's kind of what has been my solution as of late as well, is just kind of spending, because honestly it brings you down the more you're like around that kind of energy. Like, and I find that like after, and like I have a tough time really excluding myself too. Like I feel like I'm always like right there in it, unfortunately. Like, because especially if it's a couple you're close with and they're like inviting you in it, you know, they're like trying to, you know, get your help. And I have a tough time like being like, oh, don't ask me. I'm like, oh, I'll tell you what I think. But it's
but
so
that can also get you in the muddy waters.
Oh, and I've been in them. I've been mucked up in those muddy waters. It's a bad place to be.
Yeah, but I love drama and gossip. So at any chance, I'm gonna try to get in there.
Exactly.
Just weasel my way into the conversation, especially if I can say that the guys fuck it up, because
that's always
just fun.
The guy is always fucking up. in all honesty.
Definitely.
Do you have any friends where this is like consistently happening, or like couples that you're just like they're always fighting?
Not really. I mean, I've definitely been around it with other couples in the past, but I don't have anything like that where it's just like constantly. But also like I don't have as many. A lot of my friends that were in bad relationships, they have now left them, thank God, and like they're not with them anymore. But I would say like at least like my married friends or friends that have been together for a long time or at least keeping it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the past, like for sure, like when she was my roommate, her boyfriend sucked, or at least like the guy she was seeing. I don't even know if it was boyfriend, but yeah, he was terrible. They were always fighting. He was yelling at her. Like it was always something. And at that time, us three hung out a lot. So it was hard. And the fact that we lived together was a whole other thing. Because then you can't really escape it.
No.
And you're
in it.
And you hear all of the same arguments over and over and over again. So you get to know like what they're fighting about. And like,
yeah. No, that's where I'm at too. Is like knowing the arguments so well. And it's like, not this again. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's also, it's hard when you live with them. Because at that point
there's no escape.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Except move out. And I did.
Yeah, Greg and I had a point recently where we were just like looking around at a lot of our other friends who are not this couple, and we were like, oh, it's so nice. They're so normal. They're not fighting all the time. Like we're like, yeah, that like it almost highlights how bad a couple is when you realize and you finally take some time away from it and realize like, oh yeah, no, all the other people we surround ourselves with like don't constantly have drama like that. Like it's not like, well, like you realize like, I don't think that that's healthy or sustainable. But I think some people like this couple too, just become very desensitized to like talking to each other that way. Like this couple that I know, like they say, shut the fuck up to one another. They say like, that's the kind of language they use. And it's so normalized in their relationship now that they don't even realize how bad it is. And like Greg and I like almost feel a lot healthier spending less time with them because we're not like, you can only take like experiencing that and like it becoming normalized in your own life too, just by default or by transference.
Because you see it. Yeah. You see it so much and you start to think it's like normal on their end.
Exactly.
But then it might also make you feel, you know, grateful for not fighting like that much. But yeah, I feel like I'm definitely one in a relationship to maybe be I don't know, the start of something like, and I think that just comes with like, I don't know, I want to say like being a girl, but I don't know. I feel like this is the first relationship that I've had where I've never fought with this person. Like never.
He just doesn't engage back.
He doesn't engage back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of like makes you think about all the time wasted on like just constantly fighting and how draining that can be. And you don't even realize it when you're in it because it just starts to become normal. And like when it's not happening, you kind of look back and you're like, wow, I literally haven't fought with this person once. And like 2-3 years ago, this was a normal part of my everyday life.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize it. And so some people that are in it like that, just like, it's so day to day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's just a constant battle. And then you find like on the rare occasions they're not fighting, Greg and I would be like, wow, they're really good. They didn't fight today.
Yeah.
And it's like, that shouldn't be like a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like of like, oh wow, we went a whole time where they didn't fight because it was at a point where it was just like, okay, it's gonna happen eventually, whatever. Like, and that's not what we have with any of our other friends. Like, that's not something we expect from
more
anyone.
Like when they fight, you're like, oh shit, like what's going on?
Exactly. Or like that was kind of awkward.
Shocking. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we of course have friends where we witness like disagreements and arguments too. And like it's awkward either way. But like, yeah, there's something about witnessing like screaming like that where you're just like, I really hate being a part of this. Like, we're just Carrie in that moment.
Yeah, you just feel like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Not him like yelling at her to get the fuck out of his house. I was like, you never speak to Carrie like that.
No.
That's the thing. Like when it comes to like back when I used to fight in relationships, if they ever said anything to a friend,
it would be game over.
Game over.
And no one's ever spoken.
Which is so shitty to say. Yeah. Like you can yell at me as much as you want, but when it's my friend, no. Like that's a terrible line to have, but that is the line.
Absolutely. There is like a saying out there that's like, you know, what would you say to your friend or your like child or whatever it is, like if they were being spoken to the way you're being spoken to in a relationship. And it is true. If anyone ever talked to my friend like he talked to Carrie, that's when I would actually probably be officially rethinking the relationship as she was.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
You shouldn't let someone talk to you
no,
like that
no
either.
one should be allowed to talk to you that way. I heard something that was really great to say in an argument that was like, if a guy ever like speaks to you that way, tells you to shut the fuck up or whatever, you can say like, would you ever say that? Would your dad ever say that to your mom? And how would you feel if he said that to your mom?
If they're like, yeah, he says it all the time.
Yeah, that's when it's like, that's when actually you're in trouble. If then you're that's like, the example they've seen. Yeah. But like, yeah, like saying that almost like flips it on its top. Like, then what makes you think it's okay to talk to me?
Like way? If you had a daughter, would you ever say that?
Yeah.
To your child.
Exactly. Like,
and then if they said yes to that, it's probably time to go.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe
if she needed to shut the fuck up. Yeah.
And maybe you yourself can reflect on those rules as well. Yeah. Like that, would it be okay if like someone spoke to my dad this way or someone spoke like, it's a good kind of litmus test to look at it through that lens. And then sometimes you just have to eat crow and apologize because things get out of hand.
Eat crow.
I don't know.
What is that?
Eating crow is a thing.
That's interesting.
I know.
Never heard you say that.
I don't know where it came from. Sometimes phrases just come out of my body.
Because you listen to so many podcasts.
Yeah.
You get a lot of phrases.
They live in here and then they just come out.
Crow.
For better or for worse.
Eat it.
Eat the crow. I'm going to have to look that up later and see if I said
Jamie,
it
check
right.
it.
Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Run the numbers on that, Jamie.
Run the numbers, please. The next scene, they're at lunch, and I said, I think Miranda's hair looks awesome. It's kind of crazy.
It's crazy, dog.
But I think she looks badass.
Yeah.
I think she looks really good. Also, Samantha's hair. But Samantha's hair always looks good.
hair I thought looked amazing. I remember it specifically. It's like shorter than normal. Yeah. And it looks really good.
It always looks good.
Miranda's
just
rocking.
Like Charlotte does.
Miranda's rocking that hair this summer. She's got that shit on.
I love it.
And I appreciate it. I'd take that over the fuck ass bob any day. She's got that shit on.
I would take that any day.
Yeah. Then they say, if she breaks up with him, it's your fault. If she doesn't, then you'll always be the person who told her to. And then Charlotte has a lot of great lines in this episode where she's just kind of always right. She says, I think you should be able to say anything you want in an intimate relationship. And then
is she meaning that? I was confused by that. She's saying you should be able to say whatever you want to your friend.
No, and maybe Charlotte isn't right about this either, because I actually had a question for you about this. She said, I think you should be able to say anything you want in an intimate relationship. I think she means to your partner.
Okay.
And then
I guess that makes sense because of intimate relationship.
Because Samantha says all relationships are based on a foundation of lies and mutually assured delusion.
Mutually assured delusion is what I highlighted there. Or mutually accepted delusion, whatever it was. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
And then they kind of go into this thing, and there's a couple other things said at this lunch that I want to talk about. But like, they kind of go into this thing where I wanted to ask you, are there certain things you can't say in a relationship? Carrie kind of asked this question. And I think, of course, there are. I think there's plenty of things you shouldn't say just out of consideration for the other's feelings.
Yeah, I feel like if you have to say something that is only going to hurt and not offer any solutions or not be somewhat helpful in the long run, I don't think that there's any point to say it. Unless you're like hiding some sort of secret or like...
And that's where we get to like maybe the kind of mutually assured delusion portion of it is I can appreciate that Greg finds other women attractive. And this is like very topical for us.
Yeah.
But... there's a way to say it, right?
Greg's over here writing sonnets. Me and Brad have said that so many times in the past 24 hours.
Writing sonnets?
Greg, that's what you don't remember?
No, I don't remember. What did I say?
You said Greg's over here writing sonnets about. He was like, looks like she jumped out of a candy box.
Oh, yeah.
And you go, what the fuck? Greg's over writing poetry. She's like, Morgan, I wasn't on your side, but now I'm on your side.
Yeah, I did say
It was so funny.
That's funny. Yeah, and I didn't even care about that either. It's more of a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely lines and things and you're always kind of towing the other person's line, and sometimes you can go too far, whether it's talking about how attractive someone is, maybe just there's ways to say it.
Yeah. There's ways to not say it.
Yeah.
Ever. I think that might be the way to go. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're a bit too sensitive about it.
Yeah.
And I've told you that before.
Yeah.
For whatever reason in your past, you can't handle it.
No,
Clearly.
I'm a child.
You can't handle it.
Literally a child.
But then there's also other things, like when Samantha tells this guy he's got a small dick.
Maybe don't say that.
Maybe don't say that.
That's just mean.
Yeah, that was mean.
Find another way to break up with somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's things that are just mean that you just should never say. Sometimes I really don't like Greg's haircut. And he knows that. But I'm not going to say it. I'm like, oh, did you go to a new guy?
I feel like he kind of always has the same hair. I don't know. Maybe I've just never noticed.
No, it's never that bad.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. It's never that bad.
Greg's got good hair.
He's got great hair. And that's just an example. But there's just things you should just be nice about.
Yeah,
and,
don't tell me I have really bad breath in the morning.
Don't tell me.
I know it.
I know.
And I'm gonna get out of the bed and go brush my teeth as soon as I want to get up.
Yeah.
And go do that.
Greg and I will say, your breath is crazy, dog.
You're crazy.
And then I'll be like, oh, should I go brush it? And he's like, no, it's cute. He always says, no, it's cute.
That's love. That's love.
And he doesn't think it's cute.
No.
It's just him trying to take the heat off the burn,
Yeah. Yeah. There's some things, you can laugh and joke about and make fun of a partner, I think.
For sure.
Not for a small penis, and probably shouldn't make fun.
Not for a small penis.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Or telling them they like fingers up their ass. As Miranda does. The one thing you can't say. Yeah, so that brings us to the Miranda story.
Miranda spring roll guy.
Yeah.
He's a talker.
He's a talker. She can't reciprocate. Sex is not a time to chat.
Jump scare. I can't listen to it. I can't watch it on
You couldn't
TV.
do it.
I can't literally. Again, I think I've said it before. I'd rather watch full on anal than listen to someone do dirty talk. I can't. Just kissing. Maybe I have an intimacy issue. I don't know.
No, I don't think
I don't like it.
Because you can do it yourself, can't you? You just can't watch other people do it.
No, it's both.
You don't yourself like to talk.
No,
in any form.
Not in some. There's times, I think.
This man was talking way too much.
It's that's too much.
I'll note this man was talking way too much. And I'm not a sexter. I'm not a person who's writing long paragraphs like that, sexting. But are you? Right, yeah, writing sonnets. And neither is great. I mean, we live together, so there really isn't a need to text, even when he's on vacation. It's not or on a business trip or something. But I've definitely been with people who do. It's funny to if you have, and I have, of course, before, to look back at it on the next day and you're like, ew, you don't even want to look at it.
Never want to go back.
You don't you look at it, you're like, oh,
yeah,
gross, weird.
Yeah, or the next morning, thinking about what you said.
The things you say,
they don't count.
Yeah, when you're post coitus and you look back, you're like, I just be saying anything. I'd be saying anything.
Do you remember? Nope, no one remembers.
No, let's have a mutually it's that
mutual.
They call it post nut clarity. We're what was I on there?
Nothing. This guy was definitely too much. It was just
he was just describing every single thing that was happening, and that would piss me off, man. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
we know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do think that there's times for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm like, I enjoy it on occasion, you know,
Yeah.
but never to that degree, I suppose.
No, that's crazy.
That was a lot.
Just like everything you're doing, just describing it.
Narrating the
Now
entire
you're kissing
experience.
my chest.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Now you're licking my nipple.
No.
I
Don't say it.
I don't need to hear the word nipple in bed ever. I don't. I know where it is. I know what it's doing. I'm happy with it. I don't need to hear the word.
We know they exist.
Yeah.
But you just don't talk about it.
It's like hearing the word like anus.
I've already said that 3 times on this podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
The
But
way
nipple
she
is
was
different.
the way she was saying sausage. Can you imagine saying sausage in bed? I'm touching your sausage.
The way she just went off the rails with it.
She went so off the rails. And that's where this was a funnier Miranda showing. Like she was
Yeah.
being really funny in
She
that
was,
scene.
yeah.
It was
She
like
was like, what?
it was cringe to watch, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I had like one hand over one eye. I was like, I can't. Oof.
and this was another funny Charlotte scene where we realized Charlotte's like the best at dirty talk, funnily enough. Like she's just
Charlotte
like,
cracked me up.
yeah, she's just like, oh yeah, keep going, fucker.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like, yeah, like, you know, what every guy likes to hear.
yeah. And they were all just like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's the other is I agree with Charlotte is like if you want to get things going a little faster.
Oh, yeah.
I think that you can
I think it's a great tool to speed it up.
speed it up.
If
Yeah,
if you're kind of finished and you know I'm ready for him to be done.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
let's just say some
you
words.
got tactics. So you
Yeah.
don't sleep.
It's one of the many tactics you can employ to just be done.
I said, "Oh, Charlotte, a freak."
Charlotte's a freak.
She said a good orgasm alert, but anything else feels like make believe.
That's funny. And I don't even give an alert when I'm you can tell. I'm pretty sure you can tell. I don't need to say I'm there.
Because you and Greg are like one.
We're simpatico. We are simpatico.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. I would pay good money for Charlotte's hair. She got a dog.
She does look gorgeous. Her
does.
hair is amazing.
I think my best dress will be this purple like button down.
Oh, when the three of them are on the bed.
No, the first time she goes, we see Henry.
Oh, I see.
And
Just
she
her.
like kind of takes out her hair.
Yeah.
And it's just her. And then she's wearing like these high-waisted slacks and like a purple button on. She looks so good.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
She looked gorgeous in this episode. Just like
Yes.
so her face is just snatched.
Yes.
Like I don't know what
Her
it is
face
about
card's
it.
like ridiculous.
Yeah, her face card,
Yeah.
like the way from every angle, it's perfect. It's really insane.
Yeah.
Charlotte got a dog. We love this for her. I'm seeing Susan Sharon's talking about the mean stuff her husband and her have said to each other when her and Carrie are shopping. And she's like, well, he said like, I could never, like, I'll be alone for the rest of my life and he'll get remarried. And I told him his Rogaine isn't working.
Yeah.
And
he
Carrie's
said-
just like,
And he said, I'll never forget the day that we got married because I looked at you and I felt so disappointed.
yeah. And I'm just,
you can't go back. Like,
you can't come back. And literally, that's how I have felt sometimes hanging out with this couple and like hearing like from the girl the things that they've said to one another, both of them. I'm just like,
it's so out of pocket.
like that's crazy.
That's
yeah.
like the meanest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, like those are
And
both.
then she came back with the Rogaine thing. I was like, girl, that's like nothing compared to what
I
he said
know, and they're the things that her husband was saying to her, and she was just telling Carrie, I'm like, oh my
to you.
god.
Yeah. But then at one point, she says to Carrie, like, he has a sweet side, like you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like it always comes back to one of the parties will be like, no, but they have this other side.
Oh, for
But
sure.
no, you don't know, like us behind closed doors, and like when we're good, we're really good.
That's the thing.
Always the same thing.
These people rely on like.
And I've definitely
Oh, for
been,
sure.
Like the relationships I've been in where people are looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, you don't know. Like when we're alone.
You cling to that, like whatever percent of time it is that is like good, you're clinging to it. And it does feel so good because the other times feel so bad. And
Yes.
so you're like, wow, like this is great. Like
the highs and lows. Yeah.
You
Because
get
the
like,
lows are so low that the medium highs feel so high.
when in reality, like the healthiest relationships and the best relationships are kind of boring. Like they're like just steady, you know? And like the better they are, kind of the steadier and sometimes the more boring they can be on.
It's kind of like doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Like being sober and not doing any drugs is boring.
Exactly.
But you're not going to feel so low and like shit the next day.
For
you know?
sure.
Or like after a fight or something. Like you're just going to be
mellow. Exactly. And like, not to say like every moment, but like the day to day and like a really healthy relationship isn't always like exciting. It's just like living.
Everyone thinks that there needs to be this like fiery, passionate, like, we fight, but then, you know, we make up and like that's what is the fire underneath our relationship and stuff. And I'm like, I think it's kind of bullshit.
I agree.
I think that, like there can be passion and there can be, I guess, a sense of like what Carrie was saying was like, was I just the catalyst for their like foreplay of being like fighting and stuff? And I think that's true for a lot of couples. Like they might like get off on a fight or like on passion or whatever and think that like they'll never find that kind of like high with someone else because they don't have the like, I guess the
intensity
things. Yeah. But I definitely think that that's a myth and that's not.
It's not healthy. Like
it's like the Mr. and Mrs. Smith myth.
Yeah.
Like, it's not real. It's just in movies.
You're not Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No. You're not like Allie and Noah from The Notebook who like were a little toxic at times.
Yeah. For sure.
So I was...
Or like that Eminem music video with Rihanna.
What is that one? I love the way you lie. Yeah. I get it.
Kind of crazy. He like sets her on fire. Yeah. And then they're like, I love you.
That's not healthy, everybody. No, you shouldn't be looking for anyone even remotely close to Eminem.
Big Sin Scary Roses.
Yes. First, we have Susan, Carrie, and Charlotte on Charlotte's bed. I just love Charlotte's line that says, "He's a dog, not an oracle."
Oh yeah.
and Susan is like, I want to get home so that I can tell him I can't answer.
I want to be near the phone so I can answer it and say I can't talk.
And like, God, we all know being Carrie in this situation where you've just had it. You're like, I'm kind of sick of dealing with this.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah. But I do get like the no contact, but still wanting to see if they're gonna.
Oh, for sure.
You know.
And that was when Charlotte was like, that's not healthy. Yeah, you should just talk when something needs to be said. Yeah.
Charlotte's just like so wise in this episode.
She's kind of had it with her. And then she's like, he's a dog, not an oracle. And she gets up basically to say, you can leave my house now.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Scram. Next we have Scary Roses.
The next morning, I woke up to an unsettling birthday surprise.
Mommy.
Diane.
Best wishes on your birthday.
It's from Big.
Scary Roses. And these roses are the equivalent of like a happy birthday text. You know, that you haven't heard from this guy in months. And then you get the text.
Everyone knows.
Or the Merry Christmas or Happy President's Day. You know?
Everyone knows the happy birthday text. It's like, and it was happening before texting was even a thing, it seems.
God damn. They always get you.
I couldn't believe that. I kind of honestly thought our generation like invented the happy birthday text because I'm like, well, no one's going to call you on your birthday. Why would anyone do that?
But the flowers make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, that is a gesture. Like,
yeah, for sure. Even if his assistant did tell him it was Carrie's birthday, he still goes, okay, send her flowers. You know, like he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
You don't send flowers to just anyone on their birthday, especially if you're trying to get over them. It doesn't.
No.
He's playing a game.
Yeah, absolutely he's playing a game.
And you've been there. We've all been there.
We've all been there.
The amount of...
I've responded to a couple of those happy birthday texts.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say that I've responded to a happy Valentine's Day text.
I've done happy birthday texts. I've done them.
I literally have with every year we send each other happy birthday, but nothing else in between. And you can see the happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Well, that's funny.
It's kind of weird. He's married.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I won't do it this year.
Yeah. Maybe.
And there's never been any other like anything else.
That's funny.
Never been and also, how are you? Let's catch up. No.
So yeah, that's
a different situation though.
I feel like that's different. I've had happy birthday moments where you're both still single. It's a recent breakup, like very similar to this, where you're just like,
why not?
It's their birthday. I know it's their birthday. I have to tell them happy birthday. What if they don't hear happy birthday from me? And it's a good excuse to just weasel your way back in.
I don't know when I've done just like the send a text happy birthday, but I've definitely done, they'll come up on Instagram and I'll like respond to their story.
Yeah.
I've done that before for sure. HBD.
HBD.
You know?
Yeah, I do that.
And then we're off to the races.
Yeah. I reply to people's stories saying happy birthday, but never. I haven't done a happy birthday.
You've also
I've been
in a
relationship for a long time.
Years,
exactly. But back in the day, I would do it.
You're young and sprightly.
Back when Instagram stories weren't a thing and you had to just text.
Snapchat too.
You didn't have like birthday stuff on Snapchat though.
I guess
really.
not. Yeah.
I would just be going out on a limb, just texting.
What are you gonna do? You gotta put yourself out there.
Gotta put yourself out there. So this was the OG. I literally wrote down OG happy birthday text.
Yeah. And then she talks to the girls about it at lunch and then ends up calling big.
Yeah. Charlotte thinks it's a grand gesture. Miranda goes, a rose is just a rose. Grow up. Charlotte's got a full ass dog at a brunch place. I don't think you can do that. Can't.
They're really like shoving this storyline down our throats.
I know, as if we care.
Yeah. Charlotte, get out of here.
Yeah,
it's not your episode. It's usually not your episode.
Exactly. I was just like, oh, and then they're gonna make the dog shitty. I was like, ready for her to have like a good dog, and I think she gets a good dog later. But I was.
Charlotte does say,
No. This is the grand gesture.
The grand gesture?
Yeah, if you break up with someone and they just disappear from your life altogether, well, then it wasn't meant to be. But if they make a powerful declaration of their love, then you really have to reconsider.
You think a dozen roses and a card that says best wishes qualifies as the grand gesture?
Well, men, they can never say I was wrong. They just send flowers.
Yeah. If you break up with someone and you never hear from them, it's not meant to be. But if they make a grand gesture, maybe you should give it another shot.
Do you believe in that?
I do think that people stay in your life for a reason. Like, even if like you've had no contact with them for a really long time, obviously like I'm in a relationship now, but like, so like I don't have any contact with it, like exes or anything like that. But like before, like I do think that there's a reason why I might stay friends with somebody, and to hook up maybe, but also like, okay, maybe one day this could be something. I used to think that. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I think for some people, definitely. I feel like if someone is just,
timing isn't always right.
Yeah. And maybe like a few years down the road, like, I don't know. But yeah, I think maybe at some point in my life I thought that. But
yeah, it's probably a case by case basis. It's funny. Like, I tend to believe if you break up with someone 9 times out of 10, like it was for good reason.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Those things don't just get solved. Like if you break up with someone circumstantially and it's because they're leaving and you can't come with them or something, that's different. You didn't break up for a real reason. But I think if you break up for a real reason and you're just fighting or whatever, then I typically think it wasn't meant to be. And if you get back with them, it's just because of the ease and the comfortability.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But like, I got back together with my sophomore year boyfriend because he made a grand gesture. He broke up with me. We got back together 2 months later. We didn't have any contact for 2 months because it was the summer. So I wasn't seeing him. I was having fun. Like, it was fine. And then he randomly contacted me. Grand gesture. He drove 4 hours to come see me just for like 2 hours so we could talk. Big grand gesture. Buys me lunch, goes out of his way to just be like, I'm miserable without you, whatever, I want to be with you. And we got back together. Like, it was that easy. Like, I was just like, like,
and you were in the right place, or I don't know about the right place, but it was easy for you to get back together with him, easy for him. Like, it was a comfortable situation. Obviously it didn't work out. But I do think that even if like nothing really that bad happened. You might have just grown apart or moved, like you said, or just like it wasn't working out. And then you get back together with someone. I don't think that that's bad. I don't think that that's wrong. But you're right. 9 times out of 10, like that is probably not the one for you. But there's always that one, that might work out.
Like in this case, we got back together and it was fun, but unfortunately, this exact same issues that like prevailed broke us up again, like very soon after. We broke up, I think 4 to 6 months later. I don't quite remember the exact timeline. Maybe even 4 months, and then we were on and off for a while, just couldn't cut the cord, so to speak. But like, those same issues were always the same issues. Like they don't go away. You just miss someone, and so you forgive them after a grand gesture because it's easy. But that was the case for me, at least.
Yeah. And the same thing happened with my first boyfriend after high school. Broke up with him because I was going to college, and I just had the same boyfriend all 4 years of high school and just wanted to experience other people. And then got back together with him. Same things, same issues, same everything. It's just, it's not, I feel like, I don't want to say people don't change, but
they rarely
9 times out of 10, I say
Yeah.
people don't change. But they're, there's always those special cases, I guess.
It like for someone, it feels so good. It's like putting on an old hat. Like I remember the feelings I felt when we were united. I was like, wow, So I can understand anyone who does that, because I think it's feels very like, like Ben and Jennifer Lopez. Like it must have felt so good to feel like, wow, love conquers all. And we made it back, and and
everything we went through.
Exactly. But they broke up again.
Same thing.
Like if people they break up again because it wasn't right the first time, it's not right the second time.
Those two crazy kids.
Those two crazy
They'll
kids.
figure it out,
I don't think they will.
Carrie calls big.
Carrie calls big. She's looks so cute in this scene.
She looks so cute. This might be my best dress too.
She looks so cute with her hair up. We never see her hair up.
I love her hair up.
She looked adorable.
Yeah,
like
she looks adorable. She looks kind of rocker chick.
Yeah,
cool.
Like plaid pants.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. And you feel for her. They did a good job with this scene of where she's just like, she's trying to say the right thing, and she's like, or don't. You can come or don't. Like
she invites him to her birthday party. Crazy move. Like, okay, like if this was like a party, like a house party, if this was like a cocktail, a bar, and like, but this is like an intimate dinner.
It's dinner with
like her friends.
6 people.
Crazy
thing to do.
And I think part of me thinks she probably just said it to be nice at first.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then she's like, oh, wait, that's crazy.
Yeah. She's like, this is weird.
But then he's like, yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to bring someone, which, I would hope that he would never bring a girl. I think that would have been crazy. He never would have brought a girl to her birthday dinner.
Definitely.
But it was, the him being at dinner, and he kind of had it out because he said he had plans, and she was like, oh, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
It was tough. I don't know
how you would get out of that.
I think she just kind of was stuck in it.
Yeah, she's like, oh shit, okay.
And then she was at the point where then she's like, kind of has her hopes up,
but then nervous that he's bringing somebody.
Yeah. Then we have before the dinner, we have Samantha at therapy.
Yeah. It's been a month since they've slept together. Samantha's like, I'm just not very sexual right now. Poor Sam.
And he's like, I saw you masturbating.
Crazy.
Duh.
Yeah. And he's like, I think you have some intimacy issues. And then she just says it.
I can't believe she's gotten to the position where she's out at therapy with him.
You must really like this guy.
She should have cut it like way earlier.
Yeah. I mean, she must really, really like this guy, or else they just can't find another subplot for Samantha. But yeah, she finally just says it. She's like, you're not doing it for me, buddy.
She just says it, and I feel bad, actually. I was like, it's kind of mean.
So mean.
I think you should just break up with him.
Very toxic.
Just lie and say, like, I'm not.
Say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
even a simple, I'm not attracted to you.
Exactly. Would have been way nicer.
And that's mean.
Yeah.
But it's not as mean.
It's not as mean as what she says.
Yeah. And so I think at that point, if I don't know. If I was ever in that situation, I think I would have to say like, this is just isn't the right time. It's not me. It's not you. It's me.
Frankly, I think she could, because the woman, the therapist says plenty of women can't orgasm through like vaginal intercourse or whatever. And I forget what they said to that. But he said, I think she just has intimacy issues. And I think in that case, I would have, because he wasn't interested in exploring her vibrator with her.
Yeah.
And I think like if you really wanted to make it work, he should have done that.
Yeah.
So that I think is grounds to break up with someone. Like,
100%.
Sorry, our sex isn't fulfilling and you don't want to try anything.
And you're not
else.
trying new things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, she could have said, but
but it's such.
Jesus.
You have a tiny dick and I hate it.
So. Oh yeah, and then she tells the therapist, she's like, I just need a big dick, and the therapist's like,
I get it.
Preaching in the choir, or something like that.
Not before he says, I think you just have a big vagina.
Hilarious.
Nailed her.
Miranda loves dirty talk now.
Yeah, she's really into it. She's psyched about
And
it.
I literally have to fast forward because I'm a prude and I can't watch that.
Yeah, she's saying stuff. He's liking it. It's like, it's fine. And then she says, you love a finger up your ass.
Easy thing to say. She's gotten too far with it.
And that is very clearly way too. Can you imagine saying that to a
Just
guy?
like out of nowhere. And like, she's not even, doesn't look like they're really like drinking or anything. It's not like she's like past her inhibitions or something.
It's so funny. It reminded me of the porn episode when she like tells this guy he's a bad boy.
Yes,
the spanking, and he's just like, too far.
Yeah. Miranda always just, that's why she doesn't want to do these things.
Yeah.
Because she knows that she's just going to take
She
it too
takes
far.
it way
She's
too
had
far.
way too many like terrible experiences.
It's like always what happens to her. Just like too much,
Too far.
too much.
The guy just like turns over and just like feels like he feels like assaulted.
This was literally like actually kind of believable to me too. I was like, yeah, I actually could see this happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
guy's like, sorry, too much. Now are we at dinner?
Yeah. Carrie's B-Day.
Carrie's B-Day. I like Carrie's hair a lot.
She looks great.
All the girls look
they look
good.
so cute. Miranda looks so
do you
good.
like I feel like Miranda's like kind of looking a little crazy.
I love it. I love her.
She looks a little like an art teacher to me.
I know. That's why I love it.
Yeah, with like the scarf and the crazy
Yes.
earrings and like
Yeah.
it is like it's
I
a
think they're
risk.
trying to do the vibe of the restaurant though.
Yeah.
Like Moroccan theme.
They're all like on theme
Yeah.
for sure. I like Carrie's outfit. I like her vibe.
Yeah,
you know,
she looks good.
it's fun. She's
yeah. I think she
embracing
has like
it.
a braid in
Yeah,
her hair or
she has
something.
2 braids that
So
look really
cute.
cute. Yeah, she's exploring braids this season.
I love it.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Stanford sighting.
Yes.
Stanford, we love you.
So excited.
We love you, Stanford. And he's just being fabulous as ever. Love him.
Love him.
Sitting next to Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone.
Order another double vodka rocks for the birthday girl,
The
please.
truth was, vodka was my only ally. At any moment, Big was just gonna walk right in here with his gorgeous date, smile at me like some distant stranger, and say something absolutely crushing like,
Happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday, baby.
He said that.
Yeah.
He said that.
Screamed.
Can you imagine? Happy birthday, baby.
Now that's different from a regular happy birthday text.
No, that's like
If I got a happy birthday, baby,
saying it in person, coming into your dinner,
Done.
your intimate dinner. That gave me
melting.
Yeah.
I can't.
She's quivering.
I would be done. You have me.
You
That's
have
it.
me. You have me back. That's the grand gesture.
That's the only grand gesture
Happy
I
birthday,
need.
baby. And he looks handsome as
He
hell.
does look good. He looks good.
He brought his
look
friend
good.
that I hate.
Oh yeah. His terrible friend, and she like gives him a big hug. She's like, "I'm so happy to see you." Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a chick.
And he's like, hey, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
Fucking Jack.
Yeah, fucking Jack.
Sarah's or Sharon's all over
All
Jack,
over Jack.
who's so obviously not into it.
Yeah.
Have you ever witnessed something like this where
Oh,
you
yeah.
just see like your friend, like someone just can't take a hint? Men
Yes.
and men do it with women do it with men. Like, and it's just so obvious. Like, maybe this person's drunk. Like,
It's
she
usually
can't.
when someone's drunk because they can't when you're drunk, you can't tell like social cues.
No, you can't pick up on that.
So I feel like I've probably done this.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely done this.
Yeah, and it's definitely happened to me. But yeah, witnessing it and like having to like pull your friend away and be like, babe, they're not interested. Like,
luckily, I don't think any guy has ever told me to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up is great. Or no, he said, do you ever
shut the fuck up? It was really, I felt so bad for her.
But then it was like, then she realized how much she missed her husband. I was like, he says the same thing.
Yeah,
to
that's what I
her.
was thinking. I was like, what do you
It's
mean?
trying to show that like, no, she really needs to go back to her husband. I'm like, maybe she does because every guy's just gonna treat her this way.
Yeah, is that the realization that like it doesn't get better?
She should just stay with her husband. Yeah,
I guess so. Every guy's gonna tell you to shut the fuck up at this rate. You might as well go with the 1 year already, not deal with the divorce. So then Charlotte gets rid of her dog Harry, gives it to them.
Oh yeah,
They're
back together.
They live happily ever after, abusing each other and the dog.
Great.
Wonderful. Nice. Love wins.
But we have a win. We have a big win. Double meaning.
A big win.
Big. Walks Carrie home.
Yeah.
Asks if he can take her home. And she says no.
We love that.
And we love a win, a healthy win from Carrie.
She, as far as we can tell, has actually, since the breakup, since she broke up with him, has been very steadfast, handled it very well. Very unlike her.
Yeah. Very unlike her. It's not going to stay for long.
No.
But I was very proud of her in this moment. And like after everything that he did, sent her flowers, came to her birthday, like everything, I was just very much assuming that they were going to go home together. Like,
I thought so too.
Absolutely. A little disappointed that they didn't.
I was like,
almost.
I mean,
I want the drama.
She's better than me. I would have gone home with him.
Absolutely.
I 100% would have gone home with him. Because it's you rationalize it in your head like, well, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
And like, I'm not seeing anyone. He's not seeing it. It would be so easy.
So easy.
And that's what you do. That's why we keep getting, that's why people get into those situations.
Yeah. And she really stuck to her
She stuck to her guns.
To her gun.
She didn't fuel the fire.
No, yeah.
She didn't eat crow. She ate the crow.
Wait, she did eat
no,
the crow?
she didn't eat the crow, I don't think.
Okay. But she's not over him. And she says that in the talk over, and sad, but it's good for her.
She lives to fight another day.
Lives to fight another day.
I wish she would have just called that Yankee.
I know.
He's hot.
Maybe she did. We don't need to see that.
We don't need to see that.
That's her own personal little story.
Let
her have it. You know what time it is? What season?
Welcome. It's a season. Welcome to the Emmys. Who won?
Carrie. Carrie won. She had a good birthday. Big sent her flowers. Big showed her birthday. And then she still rejected him.
I wrote Samantha because she finally she finally got up the balls to end it with this guy. Yeah. But Carrie as well.
Yeah.
Then we have who lost the episode?
Sharon Stone and Henry.
Sharon, definitely. Yeah. I also said Miranda.
Miranda. Yeah. She's just losing all the time.
Can't stop catching strays, dog. Every time we think she got a win, she just catching strays. Best outfit.
Charlotte's purple top.
Okay. Yeah, I got to go back and look at that one.
But also I do love Carrie just like in her lounge clothes in her bedroom.
Yes.
So cute.
I loved that. I love that we got a return of the kimono when she gets the roses. She's in that cute kimono from season 1.
So cute.
And then, yeah, I liked her Moroccan outfit was interesting. It wasn't like I loved her hair. That was my favorite hair. Yeah. But when I saw her walking with Big, I'm like, it's a little, it's kind of like a full sari.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a full, she really went all out.
Yeah. But you're right. I think it was the cool pajamas vibe. Worst outfit.
Everything Sharon Susan wore.
Yeah, that's fair. I have Miranda at the Moroccan restaurant. I was not having that.
Yeah. I could just I would picture myself wearing something like
that. You definitely would. Yeah. Best quote.
Well, there were so many good ones. I think Probably the mutually accepted delusion
That's-
quote by Sam.
That's what I wrote too. All relationships are based on a foundation of lies and mutually assured delusion. I think, yeah, mutually assured delusion for sure. We're both going to pretend like there's no one else in this world and yeah,
For the best.
it's for the best. What age the best? I have Moroccan restaurants and therapy.
God, I'm like everything aged the worst.
I know there's a lot of poorly aged things in this.
What aged the best? Probably roses instead of a happy birthday text. Take
Yeah.
roses any day.
Yeah, that's a good one. What age the worst?
Belly dancers at dinner. Hated it.
I feel like you would not be able to take that if there was a belly dancer dancing on your
No.
man.
Definitely not.
There's no way.
you kidding me?
You'd be so mad.
Killer. You wouldn't be able to.
You'd be so mad, dog.
I'm mad right now.
I have going back to your verbally abusive husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't age well. Didn't age well. I
Didn't
don't know
age
what
well.
they wanted us to think about that. Love conquers all, I guess. Love wins. Who is the most toxic?
Samantha,
I have Samantha too.
for sure.
Toxic.
So mean.
It's not often that
terrible.
Samantha's the most toxic either, but she definitely was here. Was it feminist? I said no. Not this week.
I don't know if it was. It wasn't either. It was like not anti-feminist. It wasn't feminist. It
Yeah.
just
It wasn't either. There were things that I was like, good for Carrie, but I thought that going back to like of this really bad guy, like I wish anything else would have
I
happened
guess you're
to
right.
Sharon Susan. Like I didn't like that they're like, yeah, she's back. She realized she missed her husband.
But it also just stays true to like
how reality.
how reality.
Yeah.
How a lot of people. It's so hard to think about being a divorcee and like thinking that your husband's probably going to get married, like she said, in the next year, and you're going to probably be alone.
You're right. Realistic. What would you rate it?
4.5 out of 10.
I have 5 out of 10. So we're nearly identical.
Yeah.
Not my favorite. We're still early in the season. This is kind of where they throw in the nothing episodes anyways. They're just kind of getting a feel for it and getting a start. Not the best, but we had fun talking about it.
Fun.
Fun along the way, dogs.
Someone's home.
Someone is home. Well,
Santa.
like, rate, subscribe.
Peace
5
out, dog.
stars. Yahtzee.